Hey, welcome back. Welcome back to Cooking with Arlena. And today on this video, I'm going to be cooking some peas and rice. And this is the way that I do peas and rice. Everyone has their own version of how they do peas and rice. Well, this is my version. There's lots of different versions, but nonetheless, it's all good peas and rice, and we all have our own special recipe as far as to how we make peas and rice, and we make it our own special dish. So here I have, I don't know if you can see in the camera. Well, actually you cannot. So let me just move the camera a little bit over there. These are my ingredients, and I have canola oil or any kind of oil, olive you could use, vegetable, whichever one. I have my rice. I have, today I'm going to be using pink beans. You could use red beans or green pigeon peas or regular brown pigeon peas. You could do canned, or you could do the beans that have been soaked overnight and cooked in the pressure cooker. Whichever one works best for you. Also, I have some olives, some coconut milk. I have my Trinity here as well. My camera's kind of big for the tripod, so I'm trying to hold it, so I do apologize. Some bouillon and some sofrito or recato, whichever one you want to use, and that's basically it. So I'm going to show you how I make my peas and rice. Okay, so I hope that camera, I hope you can see. Okay, so I've had my pot kind of, so just low down the fire. Okay, so I'm gonna, actually I think I'm gonna cook it with olive oil instead. So I'm just gonna put like a capful, go for a more healthier alternative. Okay, so I normally would, a cap or two, which, whatever works for you. About a teaspoon, maybe about 2 teaspoons to a tablespoon of oil. We don't want a ton of oil, of course not, but we do need some kind of oil. So my pan is a little high, so I am going to lower my heat. So to that, I'm going to add my veggies. And I'm gonna just lower that a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna get me a couple cloves of garlic as well to add to the pot. I'm going to just use the 2 cloves for today because I'm a bit tired and I'm kind of doing some other little stuff over there, so I don't really have time to be peeling a ton of garlic, even though I love a ton of garlic. But I'm going to pass today. Those 2 cloves should be good enough. So see in my, only thing you can't see in my pan. So I'm just gonna, I'm gonna just take my camera and bring it a little close in so that you can kind of see what's going on in my pan. My camera is very heavy. Okay, I have my vegetables. I'm just doing a small pot, so I'm gonna also now I'm gonna open up my can of habichuela rosados, or pink beans. I love pink beans. So it's just 1 can. There's smaller cans in this, I think like 10 ounces. You could use those as well. So I'm gonna dump the entire can in here. I am hungry. I have not eaten since this morning. So I am more than ready for my dinner. Okay, so I'm gonna turn this up a little bit. So what I do is, after I leave this to kind of simmer, so that way it kind of simmers together with, oh Lord, it kind of simmers together with the onions, the peppers, and the garlic, and then I go ahead and I season my rice at this point. This is what I do. Everyone has their version of how they do it. Well, this is my version of how I do it. So I'm gonna start seasoning my pot with my seasonings that I love to put in it. Bay leaf. I'm gonna do a little turmeric because turmeric is good to cook with. Comino. Okay. Okay, some of my dried organic oregano from my cousin's garden in New York City. Now these seasonings are what I use. You could, use whatever you want to use. A packet of Goya Sazon. Okay. Yes, this. Okay. And I'm gonna put a tablespoon of this. Actually, I'm just gonna do a little extra because I love my seasoned and rice. And one thing I miss here, black pepper. I love black pepper in my peas and rice. And I don't really have any black pepper. I keep forgetting to purchase black pepper. And black pepper, so I have a little lemon pepper just I'm just using this once again for the pepper's sake. One little pepper. Okay, that goes in there. It's a little secret ingredient. I'm not gonna say what it is. Okay. So what I do is I stir this up. So I'm gonna taste this, and how we taste this, a little in the hand. Okay, not bad at all. Okay, that's my secret ingredient. So I just stir this around. Okay, so I need my olives. So get me a spoon. Okay. So what I'm doing basically is just seasoning the pot to my liking. And the olives are kind of like a Dominican or a Spanish thing. So this is not necessarily how, you know, we all do it. This is just something a little extra that we add. You know, you make your own. You make it your own. And that's the key. Okay. So I'm going to place my pot. Yeah. It's real good. Okay. So what I'm going to do next, to me it has enough salt, but I'm going to be adding liquid. So when I add the liquid, some of that seasoning, it will, you know, be cut in half. So I'm just only going to use like a half of chicken bouillon. Okay. So we just throw that in there. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I am going to cover my pot and I'm going to leave everything marry each other for about maybe 15 minutes or so, 10 to 15 minutes. And then I'll come back and then I'll show you the next step. Okay, I am back. So let me just tip the pot. Hopefully you could see it's slowly like bubbling. So to that, because I'm cooking 2 cups of rice, see? So to that, I will add my 1, and I'm gonna add my 2nd. And this is jasmine rice. I do not wash my jasmine rice. Any other rice, yes I do. I really don't use any other rice anyway, but as far as jasmine rice, I do not wash jasmine rice. And it is my favorite rice. But if I was using like a different rice, yes, I would go ahead and I would pre-wash my rice. As you can see, this is what I do next. I stir in the rice. Okay, I stir in my rice. And I want to lower the fire because I want it to cook slowly. So what I'm going to do now, I would say about, I'm going to add my coconut milk. I'm probably going to add half a cup because we have the liquid from the beans. So we don't want to add too much water or too much liquid to cause the rice to be soggy. One of the things I love about jasmine rice is if you kind of mess up a bit, you know, it's a very forgiving rice. And I love the aroma and the way it smells, and oh, it's just good. So like I said, I'm going to start off with a half a cup. See, yeah, so this is like a half a cup. So I'm going to put that in there. And then I'm just going to stir all this in so that everything gets mixed in. The coconut milk. And honestly, I think this is enough. Yeah. So that everything gets cooked in, you know, mixed in properly. Now the coconut milk is something that is optional. You don't have to put coconut milk. You could just put plain old water, or you could use chicken stock. It kind of would be equivalent to chicken stock with the chicken cube, Maggi cube that we used, or the bouillon cube that we use, because by the time you add the water, it kind of comes out like chicken, you know, chicken broth. If you would not like to use that, you can omit it. It's, you know, all that's optional. So now what I am going to do, I am going to put my rice on low, and I'm going to let this puppy just steam and just absorb every bit of flavor and seasoning and every bit of the herbs, the spices, the coconut milk and the beans, and just let everything slow cook together and marry themselves. And then I'm gonna come back and take a look at it. But before I do that, I'm gonna sweat my rice. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna cover this with foil, and I'm just gonna put this on real low and cover it up, and I'm just gonna let this puppy steam. When I say steam, I mean really steam. There you go. So I'm just gonna put her on low and let her do her thing. Okay, now I'll bring you back once it's done. Okay, my peas and rice is finished, and let me tell you, I just did a little taste test. Oh my goodness, it tastes so good. And honestly, my peas and rice normally taste even better when it's stale. So 2-3 days from now, if I have leftovers, which I will have, it's going to be tasting even greater because it has a chance to sit and still continue to marinate on its own in the seasonings. And oh my goodness, and the good thing about my peas and rice is you don't need any meat to eat it with, but if you do have any, it'll be good. And of course, I have my meat in the back here, and it's warming up. I made some stewed chicken for myself, so I'm gonna have that with some stewed chicken. The oxtails were for a friend and a co-worker, but I have stewed chicken for myself with this peas and rice, and I'm gonna have me some slice of avocado and some ripe juicy plantains to go with it, and I'm gonna settle down with a little bit of soda. I don't drink soda every day, but at least once a week, and I'm gonna enjoy this meal. And I'm going to look at a video on YouTube, and tonight I think I will be looking at One Night with the King, which is a Christian movie which is based off the book of Esther. So thank you guys for joining me and being patient with me. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. And this is Cooking with Arlena.